Hey y'all, it's Leah. Welcome back to my series on creating an ideas book, where we're making different junk journal elements out of paper and just random things so that we can refer to it in the future. It's things that we want to remember how to do when we are building future journals. I just want to say that I am so glad to be back. As you can see, I am still healing. I had wrist surgery 3 weeks ago, and it has really cut into my crafting time because I can't grasp anything. And so it's really been a pain, and I am having withdrawals from both recording videos and because I haven't made one in a month. I had pre-recorded a bunch a month ago, and so I've been releasing those, but now I'm all caught up to that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy that I can't craft. So I was trying to figure out what I could do because I didn't want to take a full hiatus. I still wanted to make some videos because I love doing it. I have so much fun with it. And so I decided, hey, look through some of your previous journals that you've done and find some cool ideas of things that you want to continue in future journals. And so I grabbed my December journal that I did 2 years ago, and yes, 2022. So it was December 2022. So almost 2.5 years ago. And so I just had I was following a prompt list from, I can't even remember which group it was. And so I just did random things in here. And one of the things that I had so much fun with were these jumbo tickets. And this was actually something that Barbra from 49 Dragonflies did as part of her December videos that year. If you're not familiar with December, I highly suggest checking it out this year. It is done by Louisa Heinzel and Barbra of 49 Dragonflies, and they do this monthly. It's all through the month of December where they give you prompts and they have some freebies, and it is just the most incredible journals and ideas. And there's a Facebook group for it where you can share everything that you're creating, and it is just so amazing to see what people make from all realms of all places around the world, which is also fun to see what tools and different materials people have depending on where they live, but just different levels of expertise when it comes to junk journaling. So it's definitely something that you can learn from, whether you're a beginner or whether you are a seasoned journaler. So I highly recommend checking that out. So jumbo tickets, thought these were so fun. Just a really simple idea. I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not thought about that? They're just a lot of fun, and they can be tailored in any way that you want, and they're so simple to do. So all you need is a piece of paper, basically a piece of cardstock. So I decided to start doing some of my templates out of random papers. Maybe it's things that I have a lot of copies of. Some of the paper packs come with 3 different copies of a piece of paper. I am never going to use, some of them I will use all three pieces, but a lot of them I won't use all 3 pieces. I have a ton of paper pads, even the 6x6 pads of papers that I like most of the papers, but I still have some that I'm not going to use. So I'm just kind of pulling scraps that I can use. The reason I'm doing this is, one, to cut down on my scrap pile, but also so you can see them better. I was rewatching some of my videos from the past, and I noticed that if I didn't ink something, then you are going to have a hard time seeing it. And my goal is always to make things as easy for you to see and learn as possible. And right now, since I can't grasp, I cannot ink. That hurts a lot to try to, technically I can put my fingers like that, but it really hurts. So anyway, I don't want to go on and on about my hand and my issues. So it's just bugging me a little bit. So anyway, back to our tickets. So you're just going to start with this piece of paper. You're going to do it as wide as you want your final ticket to be, and then double the length of what you want one ticket to look like. Okay, so it's going to be double. So basically, as long as you want your entire thing, but you want to think about, okay, if you have a specific element that you want to put on it. Maybe you have a die cut or a digital that you know you want to use, or a stamp that you want to use. So you need to figure out how big do you need this space to be, and then work that out to figure out how long your initial piece is going to be. If you're just going to randomly decorate it, then just do whatever's going to work in your journal and figure out how you're going to do this. For me, I have this clipped into my journal just with a little paper clip. And so it's just hanging on a page. These can go inside a pocket. They can be folded up. You have journaling space on the back, so they can be a little extra piece. You could even do them sideways and wrap them around a page. That would look really cute, and just kind of put a little clip on the end to do that. You can wrap them around and actually glue them to make a little pocket. So it could be, you know, a pocket that you hit on both sides. There's so many different options for how you can use these. They're super versatile. Okay. So once you decide how long and how wide you want your tickets to be, you are just going to fold your paper in half. Oops. Or as close to half as you can get in my case. And you're going to leave it folded like this because you want to cut this inside piece. Okay, it's a lot easier. I find it's a lot easier to control if I'm just trying to cut the corner out of it. And the reason I do is because I do have a corner punch that makes these ticket corners. So you can see it looks like that. If you are using your circle punch, then technically you could go in and do it like this if you wanted to, but I find that's a little bit hard unless you have that inked already. It might be a little more difficult to decide, to figure out where you really want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one first to show you how to do that. So I'm just putting that in and I'm popping that. There we go. Okay, because I wanted to be able to mimic, but I'm going to show you how to use the circle punch to do that. So you want to use it. My punches like this, I almost always turn them over so I can see where the paper is going. So I'm trying to mimic this curve here. And so you're just doing, kind of catching that corner. So hopefully you can see that. And I did it. And that, I mean, that actually looks really good. So when I open it up like that, I have my little insides. Okay. And so now, actually, yeah, I'm going to leave it folded like this. I just find that if I can leave it folded and punch once, it makes it a little bit easier. So now I'm going to punch my corners on here and punch that one. Oops. I have things flying all over the place at me. So now we have our tickets done. So now you get to decide how you want to decorate it. So you could stitch, you could take it to your sewing machine if you use that, and you can stitch around the whole thing if you wanted to. You can use a pen and do some faux stitching like I did on this one, or you can leave it as is. You can ink everything. You can do, this is what I use. This is a sewing marking tool. And so it's just got these little teeth. They're not super sharp, but when you want to make sure that you're using a self-healing mat underneath this, don't do it on your table because that will not be good. But you're just going to roll this across and it makes that little perforated edge. So hopefully you can kind of see how you're seeing the white on there so that it's doing that. I do have another one that has more aggressive teeth. I just am not seeing that one right now in my tool caddy. But there are different ones that do that, but that's how you can get that perforated look on your tickets. Or you can just take your ink, and I will go ahead and do just that little quick thing. and just mark that. So you can kind of see the delineation between the two tags. And then you're going to go ahead and decorate it however you want. If you want to ink the whole thing up, that's totally fine. But just think about how you're going to use it in your journal before you decorate it. Because obviously if you're going to do it around a page, you're going to want to decorate this way. Okay. But if you're going to hang it, you want to do it this way. If you're going to have it folded like this, then you might decorate this side and then decorate this side. So they're not, because they would be in different directions. Okay. So just do some planning ahead of time if you know you have a specific purpose. If you're just like, I'm making this for my stash for later, then you do you and do it however you want. These are also a great mass make to just make up a bunch of tickets and have them in your stash, and then you can decorate them as needed. So I really want to start doing that a lot more once I can, of just making up some bases, maybe out of some paper, more like this, some solid cardstock or some neutrals and different things. Or maybe if I know I'm gonna have some journals coming up, like I know I want to do a blue journal, so maybe I'll do some out of blue paper or something that it's gonna coordinate with blue. Then I will just make up a bunch of these and have them ready in a little container that I can pull from. So really trying to get better about doing that. So we're going to go ahead and get this ready for our ideas book. Get that going. Let's see. I know I have some big things coming up, so I want to have a smaller page for this one. All right, so we have our directions. Get that so you can see it. So you're going to cut your strip of paper. You want the width of the ticket. In this case, I did 2 inches. And then you want it double your length of the actual ticket. Okay. So you can actually, you don't have to just do 2. I only did here. You can make it as long as you want. You can have it like roll up, like you have like, a stack of tickets. You could definitely do that. So it could be just, kind of like a little journaling element that you had in there. So it's totally up to you. You don't have to stick with 2. But you're just doing double the length that you want of your actual tickets. Okay, so that way you can fold it in half and have the right length. So in this case, I did 6 inches because I wanted each of my tickets to be 2 by 3. Okay, you are going to fold it in half, cut your corners either with about 1/4 of the circle punch if you have that, or if you have a ticket punch, then you'll just use that. Okay, and then you'll also want to punch your corners, okay, on the whole thing. You can, the optional thing is to open it up and then use your marking tool. If you have one of these, you could even just do some little dots across if you wanted to do kind of a fake marking. So I might do something like, I don't know how, kind of just drawing some little dashes across to kind of show that that's where you would tear it. Okay, and then you can decorate it. You can do faux stitching around the whole thing. You can really stitch around it with your machine. You could do stamping. You can do clusters on there. You can do die cuts. I mean, whatever. The, possibilities are endless. I'm actually going to write, because I didn't even think about those extra things. I'm going to write it on here. So I'm going to do like clip on page, because I didn't really think about all of the options until I was talking to y'all. That's why it's so good for me to do these. I come up with different ideas. If I can clip it to a page, I can wrap around page and clip or glue to make pockets. It can go into a pocket, and then make as long as you want. All right. So now we are ready to actually glue this onto our page. Make sure that's all gonna fit. Yes, it will. I'll get a little glue. My poor little glue bottle is like, you haven't used me in forever. I did try to do some stuff the other day and it didn't like me very much. All right, let's get this done. So hopefully you are still crafting along with me, or maybe you're just joining me. I know we're having new subscribers every day and I'm so excited about that. My little channel is growing. We're getting close to the 900 mark, which is just blowing my little brain. Because then I'm like, oh my gosh, 900 is only 100 away from 1,000. And that is going to just rock my world when and if I hit 1,000. I'm not going to assume anything, but I'm going to be super excited. Okay. So thank y'all for joining me. I'm so glad you're here, whether you have been here with me since the beginning or you are just joining me on this fun adventure of making our ideas book. Please like and subscribe. I would love that forever. And if you leave me a comment, I promise to comment back and just let me know what's going on, what you're liking, what you want to see, or just say hi. So I appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. Bye.